Oh, hey everybody, it's Mick here. I got a new project today that we're doing. So actually it's not a new project, it's a project I'm finishing, but what I'm doing is I'm putting a Wilson cell phone booster in. I got the AG Pro 4G is the one I bought, and the reason I bought that one is because it's supposed to cover all the different carriers and a bunch of different bands as well as data. So what I found while I was researching these guys is that some of them are carrier specific, some of them just do cell phone and not data. Some of them do data and not cell phone, and I wanted to boost everything because we get, I got an iPhone, and we don't get LTE service in or around our house. We just get 4G, and we get about 1 bar. So I'm hoping to increase all of that. So what I have done already out here, and I noticed a little difference, but I just kind of temporarily, I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's right there. It's focusing now. It's right there. That's the antenna that goes, the outside antenna that's supposed to pick up the signal from the tower. But I put it up there on an old dish TV mount that I had with an old antenna post that I had. And so to finish it, I got a tripod that I'm going to put up here, and I bought me a mast that we're going to put up, and we're going to get that baby a lot higher in the air and hopefully get a lot better signal. So here you can see my test mount, and what I was wanting to do is just make sure this was going to work for us, and it is. So before I invested a bunch in a higher dollar mount and stuff, what I used is I have a couple of old dish mounts that were left up here because we've upgraded several times, and plus we had satellite internet because see, this is what's around me. Nothing. So we don't have cable or DSL or any of that stuff out here in the woods. But the other part of what I'm going to do today is pull them old mounts off and get those holes patched up with some roofing tar in that. Just, I don't know, just because. So, we're over here. Going to start getting my tripod leveled up, and I want to get it mounted into, I'm hoping that I can get it right into my rafters. If not, I'm going to have to go in the attic and get me a block of wood to put on the inside. I want these things to have a good bite because I'm putting a 10-foot mast on this. And the other thing I got was, you can't see it, it's on paper, but I bought pitch pads. And basically what a pitch pad is just a kind of a piece of tar that goes under the feet that helps keep it from leaking, seals it up. So I'm going to put the pitch pads underneath those feet, and just because I'm a little, I tend to overdo things, I'll probably go ahead and tar around the feet a little bit too, just on the top sides, just to make sure. So I'm going to work on getting this leveled up and getting it anchored. Oh boy, so I'm finished this project up in the rain, but I got her done, I think just in time, because there's some dark clouds coming in and it's getting windy. So I guess my new mast is going to get put to the test maybe here right off the bat. But what I use there is, it's a tripod that I found online. I don't remember the website off the top of my head. I just shopped around for a 5-foot roof mountable tripod. It had the feet kind of swivel, so it adjusts to the pitch of your roof. And you see I got 3 lag bolts on each foot, and I used the pitch pads under them, and I tarred around them real good, just because I'm a little paranoid about having water come through my roof. Then my cable goes up to my cell phone antenna up there. You got to make sure that you put there's a weep hole in the bottom of it. You got to make sure the weep hole goes down so any water that might get in there can drain down. And I got it on the top. This is a 10-foot piece of, I believe it's 1.5 inches. Might be 2 inch, I don't remember. I just went by looks, something that looked like it was going to hold up well. But it's just EMT conduit. And so I'm about, well, this is a 10-foot piece of conduit. And I'm about 2 foot off my roof, so I'm probably maybe at 12 foot. Right there. I don't know that I'm that tall, but anyway, I take that back. This is an 8-foot piece of conduit, so I'm probably right at 10 foot then. And I'm not using guy wires. So I did some reading, and most of the reading I read said if you go over 15 foot and above, you need guy wires, or 12 foot and above, you need guy wires. And I grabbed onto this thing and wiggled it pretty good. My feet are anchored really good. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop going up and down this thing. I'm sure that doesn't make for good video, but my feet are anchored real solidly. So when I wiggled this thing, the only part that really gave much, or where it was moving, was right in these hinges. So I don't think, if anything's going to give, I think it's going to be these hinges, and I think this is pretty solid. I don't think I'm going to get much movement out of it. I don't think the wind's going to affect it that much. So I'm going to take my chances, just because I don't want to put guy wires up. I think it looked like crap on my roof, but, and then my cable, I just got it, runs along and goes through my ridge vent right up there. And I'll take you inside and show you where I got the booster located at. Alright, I got my booster mounted right here in my kitchen, and I have vaulted ceilings, so where my cable from the outside antenna comes in, I just came right through the back side of my vault right there and brought it out to the booster. And then the part that goes in the inside antenna comes down just a little bit. Can't really see it. Oh, let's see if I can get up there. And goes back through the wall. And then I just ran my power cable down behind my cabinets where I could plug it into an outlet. And we did some adjusting. I used an app that showed me which way to point the antenna to the strongest signal, and that's the way we aimed it. And it looks like we're not doing too bad. There's still one channel that I guess I'm getting some oscillation on. What I found out is there has to be a 25-foot horizontal, or 25-foot vertical, and 50-foot horizontal change from the outside antenna to the inside antenna, or it oscillates. The inside antenna picks up on the outside antenna. And that was hard for me to do because we got a smaller house. We're at about 1,500 square feet, so I have my antenna all the way on that side of the house, the outside antenna, and I'm putting the inside antenna on this side of the house. So still trying to get rid of that oscillation, but we did some tests. We're getting 4 bars up from 1 bar on our cell phone service, and our data is running super fast. The data test I run, or at least for us, we were getting 4G before, now we're getting LTE, and we're getting between 9 and 10 megabytes on the download, which is good enough for me. It's better than my satellite service. So now I just got to finish getting my inside antenna mounted up. Alright, so we got the inside antenna all mounted up. And so now we'll come in, and whenever you unhook or hook these cables up, you always have to unplug. At least that's what I read in there, is whenever your antennas aren't hooked up, you want it unplugged until you get everything hooked back up, and then you plug it back in. So I'll show you. Here we are sitting, it's kind of hard to tell through the camera, but, and it's kind of kicking back and forth between 4G and LTE and 2 bars and 1 bar there. So we'll plug in here. And then our little guy up there should boot up. And it's good to go now. And now we'll come back to our phone. And I got 5 bars. And any second now should come through with LTE as well. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the phone to realize that it's got what it's got. Let's try this. Oh, there it goes. Oh, can't show you my code. So we're kind of going between 3 or 4 bars and 5 bars, and we got LTE. So, and that's all the way up from 1 bar and 4G. So I'm going to be pretty happy with this. And now our next thing is going to be to we're going to go ahead and get one of those little data doohickeys from AT&T, and we're going to try using a hotspot in our house, and hopefully that's faster than the satellite. And if it works better than the satellite, then we're going to drop our satellite internet and just go through our data through our cell phone provider. And I think it's going to work out a lot better. Where I got this idea was from my neighbor who works from home, and they've been searching for a long time for the bandwidth that they needed for her to be able to do what she's got to do. And this is how they ended up doing that. And they tried satellite, and that's really our only option out here. So it's working for them, so I'm going to try it at my house. And hopefully we can get faster data, and it save us some money. So we'll see. Oh, the other advantage to using the data from the cell provider too is she said that I asked her if she's had any problems with the data or the bandwidth dropping whenever there's a storm. Because like with the satellite, just like with satellite TV, storm comes through, you lose that reception. And she said that she hasn't noticed a difference even when there's a storm and it's raining real heavy. So that would be awesome too, not to lose that whenever it storms out here. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. But that's the install for it. It's pretty simple. I really liked Wilson. I had to call them once for customer support, and they were real friendly and real helpful. So I'm not saying that some of the other brands aren't just as good, but I bought the Wilson one because I had read that about their customer support, that they have awesome customer service. So that's why I decided to go with the Wilson brand, and I had to call them that what I read was true. They have awesome customer service. So for what it's worth, there you go. That's the end of today's project. Thanks for watching.